Take it rough. Take it rough.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the legends of reggae and ska. They'll be performing tomorrow night at the Phoenix. Starting over at the end there, Mr. Leon Delroy Williams, First Lady of Reggae, Miss Dawn Penn, the one and only Mr. Dennis Al Capone, Black Steel himself, and Willie Williams. Okay?
Yeah.
So these are the ones here. Thank you for coming. Feel free to take pictures, feel free to take video, and the floor is yours for 4 questions. This is the second in the series. The last time this show came along, it was 6 years ago with Prince Buster. We're looking for great things and hoping for a great show. We also have the best of the local talent. We've got Jason Wilson, who will be the backing band for some of these artists. Also, we have the Dizzy and the Arsenals, okay, House of David Gang, all Juno Award nominees. And then, of course, Willie has his own band, and there's going to be a few surprises and a bunch of DJs, and as you wish. So, if you would like to ask them questions, feel free. Come now, come now.
Yeah, there's so many questions I could ask. Okay, I'm going to ask of my sister Dawn first. Hi, my name's Ravel, and I'm here with ThatChannel.com. One thing I've noticed about the reggae scene, it is very predominantly male. And I'd like you to maybe give us a little bit of words from a female perspective of how you see females fitting in the reggae scene, especially in the older reggae scene or the, let's say, experienced reggae scene from where you're coming from in a very male-dominated industry.
You have rightly said it is a male-dominated arena. So you have to be very strong as a woman to reach the accolades of being mentioned or noticed. But I think it goes with your talent as well, and who you can find to help you to steer and get along with what you're doing. It's very hard. People used to be having friends who is a producer or a friend who is in a group, and probably that would help you a bit, but it was a very hard situation, and things have changed now, so with the internet and these different things, it makes it a little simpler, but it's really still, you have to be a strong woman.
Very strong, yeah. Thank you.
Did I answer it correctly?
You did answer me.
I have a question. What do you think of the young women coming up in reggae?
It's still the same, quote unquote, bar 0% of ladies in the business same way, but I mean, you know, they're still doing their thing, and I mean, Lady Saw was there for some time now, and you have I see Ayana, and you have another lady, Itana. Is she with Ayana?
Queen Africa.
Queen Africa. These
Queen
people
Africa,
are people
yeah.
off the cuff of the foundation people or the parents in the business. My son is there too. He's Continental Crooks, he calls himself.
Ah, okay.
Continental Crooks.
Continental Crooks.
He raps, he sings, he grew up in Jamaica, he grew up in New York, he grew up in London, so he gives a bit of everything.
Continental brother.
Crooks. He says everybody's a crook, so they call himself that already. So.
Okay.
Are the foundations of reggae getting lost in all of the things that are going on now? The mishmash, the dance hall,
It's very much getting prominent now because
Is it? Okay.
the thing had some leverage, it also had foundation. You know, the music was real live instruments, and people can relate to that. I mean, it's not Tchaikovsky and Mendelssohn and Chopin and thing, but because it was so properly done from that time, it has stand out and has resilience over time. You know, the rest is just some popcorn thing in there today and out tomorrow.
Yeah. What about in the UK? Leon, what's happening over there?
Right now?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
But in reggae, and they always seem to be, like here, the specials were here last week, you know, and every once in a while you get Madness on the return. They always seem to be reaching back for something in the UK that's original.
Well, the specials are not reggae.
Uh-huh.
You know, they're just two-tone.
Right, right.
But you see, like, the reggae music that is surviving these days, it's like you see Dennis Al Capone and Willie Williams and Studio One and Treasure Isles and all that. Those music are the ones who are taking the swing all the way. All those little other, what you call it, dancehall stuff and all that, those are just fashion stuff.
Right, right.
But people like Dennis Al Capone and, you know,
Yeah.
Desmond Deckers and they can never die.
Yeah.
Those kind of music can never die.
Even Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bob Marley, the Prince Buster, all
And
those.
Yeah.
they're still not getting, don't feel in a way, but they're not playing the reggae the right way.
No, and when you go to venues
Uh-huh.
and you know to see like Dennis and Buster and Willie and everybody, you see 17, 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old people jumping up to the old reggae that was made before the grandmother was born.
Yeah. How are they hearing it? How are those young people hearing it?
With the parents.
Yeah? So it's at home more than on the radio or out or whatever.
Yeah, the parents have it because you know like
Well, I would say that we hear it mostly like every Sunday they used to have reggae time in the UK, every Sunday, and that's when I start to hear more reggae music playing, and that was the only day that we used to listen to every Sunday. It's not an everyday thing. At the time it was a bit, you know.
Yeah.
because you know look at people like Shaggy.
Uh-huh.
He here today, gone tomorrow. It's a fashion. They're fashion music. You understand?
Well, if I go to young people here out in Canada and I go to like a young 15, 16-year, my kid's 14, right? And I say, he's my son, so he knows who Fela is. He knows who, you know, Prince Buster is. But I go to the basic kid and I say, what do you know about reggae music? And from here, because he lived here for quite a while, everybody goes, Sean Paul. You know what I mean?
Somebody in the age group, that's what it is.
Yeah, somebody in their age group that they can relate to.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's interesting that you say that they're hearing it at home through the parents and things. That's amazing.
Yeah, because the parents are still pumping it out.
Yeah.
They're still pumping it out. Because I pump out my reggae music. And you don't hear no Shaggy or nothing playing in my house.
Yeah. Other questions? Go right ahead from the floor. If you have questions, just chime on in.
We just ask everyone to speak up,
Yes.
especially artists in terms of responding.
Come on in.
That would be awesome. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Welcome.
What's it? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to ask another question. I think I'll pose it to you, Willie. What do you hope to accomplish with this concert? Because it seems to be a very unique concert. You've come up here, I assume that you've all come here from overseas, right? It's really important, I think, for our young people to get to hear the older reggae. Is that, I'm assuming, what the market that you're trying to pull for this concert? And what do you want to leave feeling?
Well, I think we're trying to achieve the thing that we try to achieve anytime, every time, is more audience and to spread the word of reggae in general and to get people more interested, because the media at large on a whole doesn't represent what reggae is. And reggae is something that is of reality, which the rest of the music genres are just a fad. You know, reggae is more tuned into it's more organic. So it deals with the subject matter of everyday living and the problems that exist in the world and how we can overcome these things. That's what reggae is, you know, bringing people together. And that's what we try to do every time that we have. And this is what we're trying to do here, even today, bringing people together and to spread the word, the good word that reggae is.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sweet Tea. I don't know if it's open. for
Yes, it is
questions.
open. Go right
Perfect.
ahead, Sweet Tea.
I arrived late, sorry, but my question is for anyone on the panel with regards to your thoughts on reggae music today.
Reggae music is a music. It's a forever music, right? Reggae music is the foundation of Jamaica music. Reggae music belongs to Jamaica. It started out as ska, goes on to rocksteady, then to reggae, and the rest that you're hearing now, like raga and dancehall, so-called dancehall. Anyway, dancehall was from our time. Dancehall is not today. They get that wrong. Where the music play in Jamaica is in the dancehall.
Right.
Not in the trees from ever since, right? The nowadays people is losing the music because they are fusing the Jamaica music with the America kind of rap form of music. We want to preserve our music. That's what we got, right? So Jamaica music is our music, reggae music, right? So we want to keep that going. We are here today to entertain the people, because that's what it's all about, entertainment. And reggae music is a love music. Some people bring some different kind of things in the music, which is wrong. Right, Delroy?
Yeah.
They try to say all kind of different things. Reggae is love, first and foremost. Music is love.
Absolutely.
Music was created for the working class people. At the end of the week, you can go and unwind, listen to some nice music. You don't want to hear nothing in your head that's gonna throw you off.
Like some
You just
dirty-
want to be entertained.
Like some dirty lyrics that they
Dirty,
have in these
exactly.
days.
That's right.
And that's what we come here to do, to entertain.
And if you notice the old reggae music, it's like the jazz. Jazz was a black thing, and all of a sudden, it became a white thing. Now the old reggae music now, when I was a teenager, and you see like Desmond Decker and everybody down there, you see the big cube in the line, the black folks queuing up. You don't see no white folks queuing up. Now you see, you know, Dennis Al Capone, Prince Buster, everybody, the big line of white folks, because they make the old reggae theirs now.
Yes, and we give praise for those
Yeah,
people.
yeah, because
Because
they're the ones
they're
who
the
put
ones who
in.
keep this music
Food on the
alive.
table.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
All over Europe now,
Yeah.
when we are performing,
Yeah, they're the
when you
ones.
look in the audience, you might see 10 black people.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And if you see 30,000 people, you might see 10 black people in the
Yeah.
audience.
That's right. True.
Right? So if it wasn't for the white folks,
Yeah.
reggae music would die.
I know, and you know, like
You
in
understand?
Holland.
So we give thanks for that, for their support.
European.
Right? And if you go to Jamaica now and talk to a radio disc jockey in Jamaica at this moment in time, right? They don't know the history of reggae music. They don't know what to ask you. If you talk to someone in Europe about reggae music, they can tell you from the first record you make. Japanese,
when like it's their
You
stuff as well.
understand? Right?
Do all of you live in Jamaica or
London.
London.
everybody lives in London?
Well, I live in between Jamaica and Canada.
In Jamaica and
The
Canada.
rest of us is Londoners.
Do you perform in Jamaica quite often, or how often do you perform in Jamaica?
Not very often.
I haven't performed in years.
Yeah, there's I was on Rebel Salute, 2011. Right. We used to have Heineken Star Time, and that was a good thing for especially foundation artists. You know, but unfortunately for the past 5 years it was out of action. They bring it back this year.
Yeah, they're
We have
bringing
one
back
show
Star
already.
Time.
Yeah, Star Time. Right, because Heineken is no longer promoting it, so it's called Star Time now. But
You have
Like
to
I
believe
said-
in there, sorry.
exactly, like I say, in Europe, in Japan, in Brazil,
Yeah, everywhere,
right?
everywhere.
All over the world now. people-
Argentina.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
Argentina, all over the world.
Everywhere.
People are embracing reggae music. And most of all, you'd never believe this, in Brazil, right? Some of them don't want to hear the new music. Trust me.
Yeah, just the old stuff.
Just the old stuff.
Just the
You
old
just
stuff.
want to hear the original music.
And the reason for that, the old
know?
stuff, they have the melodies, the beautiful lyrics. Because those days, the guys, they write what they were looking at.
Yeah, and if you listen to the music now, that's made now. All of them have an original, they take it from original bass line.
Yes. Yeah.
Original melody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's nothing new. There's nothing inventive. The music that was made in Jamaica were made from inside.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
Soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
live music.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have bands like the Scatterlights and all those great musicians that used to make the music.
Mm-hmm.
Right? An artist will come in with his lyrics. Dan can tell because she was there. Right? And also with it. Right? And all you have to do is sing something.
Yeah.
And
They have the backup long time.
yeah, you have a man like Gladson Anderson.
Okay.
He would go on the keyboard and start strum a thing. Then you hear the drummer touch a thing. Then the bass player touch a thing. And a music is formed.
No sheet music.
No sheet music, nothing.
Out of the head.
Natural hearing.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that's how the music was made. It was no computer thing.
And
It was real, real.
And not the ganja feelers.
And the thing is, I think that reggae music has gone international. So you find that most of the artists that's in reggae music would not perform as per se on a regular basis in Jamaica, as they're needed all over the world because it has become an international thing. So people in general who used to, I can remember when reggae originated and started in Jamaica, you have like around the island tour. Now you have around the world tour.
That's right.
So we go from different countries because people want to hear the reggae music, so we have to take it to them.
Yeah, because when I started out, no one couldn't tell me that my music would be playing in Canada, in England, in the USA, Brazil, China, all over the world. We never even think that the music was playing outside of Jamaica.
Right.
Right? That's why we were being exploited so much.
And you never got a copy.
Exactly. we didn't know about performing rights, mechanical copyrights. We didn't know about all those things, publishing, nothing.
Okay.
You understand? So we were exploited left, right, and center. You know, when I first went on my first tour to England, and I played at a place called the Hammersmith Valley, right? And when I opened my mouth for the first song, I hear everyone singing it. I was surprised. You know, I didn't know that all this was going on. I saw an album in London with me and Uri coupled up together. I wasn't aware of that.
You never did it.
No, I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, I didn't do it. You know, who get paid for that album, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't me. That's what he says. Yeah.
No, but in those days, when in Jamaica, they were making music for the sound system.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody knew that it was
That
going
was
to
the
cross the
idea.
river, much less the
Yes.
ocean.
Exactly.
Okay,
You understand?
So you're making music for the yard. You didn't know it was
Yeah,
going
you
over
did-
yonder.
It wasn't. It was
Right.
people like me as a youth
Uh-huh.
that was getting record from Jamaica, walking around selling it.
Yeah. You and Chris Blackwell, right? They were off doing that thing. Yeah.
Out there selling, and we used to make a good living from it. But then you had the folks come along, the white folks, and they register it. And nobody knew about no registering things for publishing and all those things. And the white folks out there busy registering this. And all of a sudden, when all the black artists now realize what's going on,
Right.
then everybody's got to come to the table and say, okay, let's come make a deal.
Sort of like the real story, the story of Ivan O. Martin, right? That whole thing. And
I'll tell you what I said there about the registering, right? My name is Dennis Al Capone. And someone is selling me DennisAlCapone.com.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I want me to buy DennisAlCapone.com from him.
Somebody is selling downpin.com as well.
Yeah.
The nurse is in Australia.
Oh yeah.
And furthermore, it expired in April.
Okay.
And they're selling it for $199 US. with the whole probably that I buy.
We paid £3,000 for DesmondDecker.com.
You did, eh?
Yeah, and I pay £1,000 for DelroyWilliams.com.
Yeah.
We didn't know nothing.
Yeah, man, some
We
serious
didn't know
exploitation
nothing.
is going on.
But people like, you know, when Jackie Matu used to live here, and Leroy Sibbles and Carl Mullings and a bunch of people came up here at a certain point, when Willie came up at the same time. And it was just interesting when they came up to Canada, and then they would do records and people would say, well, where's your publishing, where's your, you know, all that sort of stuff. Coxon knew. There were other people down there that knew they were taking
they all know, they all were coming over to
to be
England.
honest with you, you know, Coxon was a bit ignorant in
Coxon never know.
in
Is
the
it true?
Money
publishing
Coxon
part.
to find out about 1990.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah,
bit ignorant.
Never
yeah.
knew.
Was he a bit ignorant?
Joe
of
Gibbs.
that?
Yeah, even
No.
the producers get exploited as well. It
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
just the artists.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know
But
what I
Jackie
mean?
Me Too got totally exploited
Yeah.
because everything that come out of Studio One was Jackie Me Too arranging it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Keyboard arranging, Johnny Moore playing the solo and Tom Moore
Even
playing
Leroy
the singing.
Sibbles play a lot of the bass line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Leroy filled in for the bass player a couple of times and he knew how to play bass because Jackie Me Too taught him. That's how he knew.
What I say to everybody, if all the musicians from the Scatolites and all those John Baker, all those guys,
It's on one leave.
if they no, but if those guys, if those guys at the time had know and get 1% royalty,
Yeah.
they would be laughing today.
Yeah.
But I remember Prince Buster went to the Scatolites because he didn't have enough money to pay them. He said, "How about I give you some royalties?" Right?
And they said,
No. What's his name?
Light Brevet.
Light Brevet said, "Who did you what Prince Buster go on with him Royal Ross Clark?"
He wanted money there and
They
then.
wanted money there and then.
But then in layman's terms, that's work for hire. There's no more money after that.
But if they all were
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
1% royalty from all the hundreds of music that they, because all the lines, they invent the lines.
No, you see, that comes from poverty.
Yes.
You understand? Because a musician left his home to go out and to do a job.
$20.
Right? Him leave him lady and kids hungry and want to bring him back some food. He don't want to hear about no damn royalty. He want money in him hand.
Yeah.
That was the 95.
But there was this man that used
that
to
was a
play.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
There was this man that used to play trombone, saxophone. You just give him a drink around though. Not clear.
No, but those musicians
Am I right?
really miss out on,
Yeah.
on a good living. You
Okay.
know, they really
Yeah.
miss out. And then, all of a sudden, they go and they will do their session, they get paid for it, and they're gone. And even some of the singers, they go and they sing and they get $20,
Yeah.
and they're gone.
They didn't know any better.
And now, they, boy, want to rob me.
Yeah, because they know better now.
But they know better now.
Yeah.
But like,
And sometimes you take the money when you don't even know what it's for. You know, you just go there and get in some kind of money, but you don't know what
but
it's
it
in
go
aid
back,
of,
it
whether
go back
it's
to the original
work for
part that
hire
they
or
did not know it
whatever.
was going to cross the ocean.
Yes.
You understand?
Like for instance, I did a song for Duke Reed, right? And when I finished the song, it was in the days of pound, shillings, and pence.
Yes.
Right? We had 5 shillings at the time. Duke Reed changed out the money into pure 5 shillings. And give me a wad of 5 shillings.
I went to this song there. I did this song called Why Didn't You Lie for Duke Reed as well. And he ended up sending me the stamper. He didn't pay me, but he sold me the stamper.
He sold you the stamper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought I had it long.
Yeah.
Then he had it 2-inch tape. It's true.
Yeah. Okay. More questions from the floor, please.
I'm DTS from the Master Plan Show. I do a hip-hop show in Toronto. We're on our 25th year. I'm originally from Jamaica, Lucianova. And the one thing what I've been listening to is the organic feel of the music, what was developed at that time. Where the sound system and the toasting came involved, it pretty much came from everybody here at the table, because I find that the music, what was singing, the melodies, what was sung at that time, it was for particular sounds. So there are certain tunes what was not heard in certain neighborhoods. So where I feel that as a community in Jamaica, the things then what was being done, I find that going to the resorts or playing at the resorts also kind of had the crossover appeal, and what was some of the things then what you guys had to go through at that time to actually like feed the family, keep true to what you guys were doing.
Well, first of all, you mentioned that you're involved with hip hop.
Yes,
You're looking at one of the person who started
I know,
hip hop music.
I know.
Hip hop music started somewhere in the 80s. We started from in the 60s. Right? So we are the original people for that sound. America have a different accent, different beat. We are patois, different rhythm. Right? They call us DJ, they call them rapper. But the same thing. In the early days of sound system, because sound system is the vehicle that actually we use in Jamaica to promote music, because reggae music wasn't being played on the national radio.
That's right.
We had two radio stations, RGR and JBC. I can remember one of the main guys. We call him Charlie Babcock. Yeah, the cool fool, the man with the life drive. And if we was to really be honest, that man, I can't remember exactly, was he from Canada?
Yeah, he's a Canadian.
Yeah.
He was from Canada.
Yeah. Canadians have a lot to do with it then if that's the case.
Because RGR was actually a Canadian
Affiliate?
owned
Is
station.
it Canadian owned?
Yeah, original.
Also,
Okay.
Kid Jensen too, from the Kid Jensen, the UK DJ. He was from Canada as well.
All right, so we're going into the history and getting some facts. Yeah, CB now, he was one of the influences on us lyrically, because he was always talking these jive talks. I'm CB, the cool fool, the guy with the life jive and those kind of things. You know what I mean? And those was the kind of things that we use in the dance hall. You know, jive talk. So he's got a lot to do with it. Canada have a lot to do with it.
Alex
Yeah.
Ray from CHRA Radio. Are you getting any play on mainstream in London now or recently? Are like artists like yourself
If we do,
getting any play, any airplay on the radio station, the mainstream
yes, because
radio station, not private
no,
station?
in London,
Radio station.
now in London, the mainstream radio, the national radio station,
Yeah.
right? They hardly play reggae music,
One extra.
right? But we've got stations now that we call pirate. We got loads of them, especially internet radio,
Yeah.
right? Play reggae 24/7.
Well, I think the mainstream radio, they don't play,
No,
they don't support
Yeah, the BBC
music
which was the
from
main-
the originators of the
Yeah.
music. But if someone in their community or from their diaspora do over the music, then they will play, because that I have the personal experience.
Yeah,
of-
like the UB40s of
yeah, and the
episode,
Clashes and these groups that did over stuff.
Same special what you was talking and
Yeah.
Madness and all them.
Right.
You know, yeah.
They would play theirs, but ours would
But
never.
not,
Yeah.
but not playing the original.
The original.
I just don't know why, because, all right, I'm originally born and raised in England. Yeah, I'm a Londonian born, see, and I grew up musically from a musical family. And what I hear all over the years that you don't hear rocksteady music I play. You don't hear ska music nowadays that you don't hear every day. You always hearing rock and roll. You're hearing rock music. You're hearing glam rock music, but not the thing of Jamaican music nowadays. Yeah. So growing up in this country now, in the UK now, tuning into the radio and I'm hearing reggae music, and I'm hearing a next station called LWR, and many more, and then all I'm hearing is Willie Williams and my Gideons. I said, wow, Dennis Al Capone, yes, Don Penn, yes, Delroy Williams, and that's what we've been hearing, but because of their laws in the UK, they'll just trap them and arrest them because you are, you're not, because you haven't got the license for
the pirates.
For the pirates.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, what they're doing is trying to promote dances that Capital Radio and many more don't do that.
Right.
They can't do it. It's only the pirate station people, they do that. And that's the only way that you get, and then when you go to the dance now, it's solid. You're the, you just gotta enjoy yourself.
It's like coming here in the 70s.
Yeah.
The only songs that I ever hear on mainstream radio was Desmond Dekker, Poor Me Israelite,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
Jackie Two instrumental when he was playing for a company that is now called Factor, which was Canadian Talent Library. They used to play his music on FM, right? And you have to have like strings and things. But the regular artist or the foundation member, you would never hear their stuff on the radio. They might take a token 1 or 2, and it still exists today.
But back to why we're here, all of us are here today, is like the show tomorrow. Now, Linden, it's the kind of show where you look at it and every time you see a show like in Canada, you'll see like one artist appearing here tonight. One artist, but then Linden kind of put these things together where you have a whole bunch of artists to give, the people. You go there and you're really gonna find yourself, hey, Don Penn finish. Everybody just stand there watching all these artists one at a time doing their thing on the same stage on one night. Value for money.
Are you gonna do mostly originals or half original, half?
All
original.
Well, my
Original
thing
material.
is, my stuff with a mix, it involves like popular or what you call it now, the foundation reggae beat from Jamaica, plus my original Scan Rocksteady tunes, plus what I'm doing now, 2 tracks from what I'm doing now, so you see that I haven't moved on from that scenario, because I do rap hip hop too, and I do R&B, so I've been doing 2 of my songs and try to make it across the board.
And I know that we are talking about the foundation of Jamaican music, right, which is very important. But at the same time, we all were young ones, right? And the young people have to enjoy what they enjoy. The young people, we'll be talking about the Sean Pauls, the Bounty Killers, and the Beenie Mans of this world, right? Because that's what they come and hear. They wouldn't be talking about us. Only, you've got some really dedicated music lovers that do their research and they know about us. But the majority, they don't know us, right? We have to educate them now. People on the radio station got to play the music and educate the youths, right? And don't fill their head with all kind of rubbish, right? Because there's good music out there to be played. Some of these radio disc jockeys, they look for the bad lyrics, right? They are not so user-friendly lyrics. You understand? Right, so at the end of the day, these guys have to live, and we respect them. And we will respect them more if they be more conscious, do better music, right? But the people like the Shaggies, Sean Pauls and Beenie Man, Bounty Killer, it's gone to Josie Wales Vibes cartoon. And Mafrado, right? We just want them to make the lyrics user-friendly, and so everybody can enjoy themselves. When people turn on them radio, they don't have to go and watch and see what them kids are listening to. They can listen to something proper, if you understand.
Just going back to it, so everybody's going to do some old stuff, but mostly their own stuff.
Well, my stuff is always original, and I'm blessed with that. my stuff has been covered extensively by other genres of music, from hip hop to jazz to rock, you know. And presently I work with a band called Big Sugar sometimes, and we tour. We just finished a 41-city tour of Canada and the United States, and I was really pleased to see the reception that we got, especially when we go into the reggae part of it, you know. And you have young people, you have middle-aged people, all kind of people. We tour, as most of my brethren and sisters in here, all over Europe and the rest of the world. And you've seen, you know, kids, young kids. I can remember doing concerts and you have some little babies, like about 5-year-olds, sleeping in front of the stage and their grandparents dancing. And, you know, so it's a cross-sectional thing. And, you know, I as I know, growing up listening to Dennis Al Capone, Don Penn, Del Roy, you know.
Don't make you feel so old, you know.
I don't mean that I was younger, but I mean that we were doing the same thing together. But they were the influence, you know, within certain time sphere, and still is, because I find out that the internet, it has its good and its bad, and you have people who do a lot of research and are into our music full time, big time.
Excuse me, anybody? I don't want to monopolize.
Go ahead.
But talking about influence, I mean, any of you guys familiar with a fellow called Jackie Opel?
Of course.
Yes.
Great singer.
Yes.
Used to sing with Tom
From Barbados.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Every Sunday we are.
You find that he was one of
Push
the
me in the
pioneers.
fire,
He was very
Jackie.
good. He
Would you
was
say
very
he was?
good.
Cry me a river.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was one of the greats
He
from
was the vocalist for
yeah.
Tom Uncle Tennessee.
He was from Barbados, yeah?
Right.
Yes.
From
I'm from
Barbados.
Barbados, that's why I was just, a lot of Jamaicans think that he's from Jamaica,
But he
actually.
became Jamaican, so then
But I always wanted to know, like, from you, you know,
No,
Yeah.
you guys been
you
around
see,
for a while.
from my experience, you see, all the majority of the musicians who come from different islands who make their base in Jamaica. Well, some people say they are Jamaicans, but they're not. Some of them originally are from Cuba.
right.
Especially Rita Marley.
Wow.
She's from Cuba.
Yeah.
Tommy McCook.
Some
He's
people
from
don't
Cuba.
know that.
Laura Lakin, Cuba.
Laura Lakins is from Cuba.
Yeah.
A lot of musicians.
Yeah, Linted from Trinidad.
From
Yeah.
Trinidad.
Yeah.
That's
Linted is
right.
very
You know,
Yeah,
but
so-
they made their home in Jamaica because Jamaica was the mecca of
Music.
Yeah.
the music in the
That's
Caribbean.
absolutely right.
Lord Creator, with Kenneth Patrick.
Yeah.
From Grenada, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Or
repeat
Laura.
that again?
What's that?
Sorry, the only Grenadian here, that's why. What's his name? What was the person's name?
Lord Creator.
Lord Creator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
His name is Kenneth Patrick.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
I have another question. I just recently got back from St. Anne in the Grill, and I noticed that the reggae music that I hear here and what I hear there is completely different. You
Yeah.
can feel the pulse of the original music when you're there in the Grill.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate to play with, I play flute, by the way. I was very fortunate to play with John Holt, with John Holt and Judy Mowat and King Yellowman. And when you get the real roots of the real feel of the Jamaican culture, I cannot help but ask about Rastafari, because every single artist that I met down there had the essence of Rastafari. There was also an amazing documentary that just came out of Bob Marley's original band, when they were just playing, when they had little boxes and they made their strings with 3 strings
It's all
and they
from-
just
it's all
pounded
from-
on it
it's all
and
from
just
creation.
organic,
It's
right?
all from creation.
And how important the reggae music was in relation to Rastafari. Can anyone speak about that?
Well, whether or not
Well,
give thanks about the Rastafari scenario, music from that time has a different type of vibration than what's happening now. My music is played in more than 53 countries of the world, and I know that because I travel these places. And what it is, in every country you have someone playing reggae music. but you never get the real vibes like what you get in Jamaica. And it's lacking most of the time because the promoter probably want to cut the cost of paying the bill for, you know, the band coming in and da-da-da-da-da. You're not getting the real music, so they just pick up somebody from a particular area to back you up, but you're not getting the proper sound, like how reggae music, I keep saying, does your band sound like how Bob Marley band used to sound? Because he was one of them that had the real thing behind him, backing him up, if you know what I mean. And it's kind of lost in the width.
Well, I think the Rasta influence in reggae music was always there, but it may not have been called Rasta. See, it's the lifestyle that people live. Because at the same time, you had people who were prominent musicians at the time, and they were Rasta in their liberty, how they lived, their lifestyle. But because of the status quo and the system that existed, they couldn't put that up front. Because reggae music, I can remember when reggae music came about, people used to call it strega music, see? And strega was like a loose person or a girl on the street, and they regard that because it was, reggae music come from the ghetto, or what they call the ghetto, because it wasn't ghetto then for us, you know? But the Rasta influence is always there, because you'll find, before we even had instruments that was electronic, people would have their drum beating,
Rumba box.
you know?
Yeah, the rumba
box.
Best beats.
Some food.
Best beats, people were poor people.
Yes.
And that's how they expressed themselves. But then as it grew, and then it was taken over by the more European influence, and Bob Marley came about, and the rest of people who came about with that kind of connotation. The Rasta influence took over fully and was expressed as such. But most of the people in that respect wasn't even Rasta to their knowledge, but the kind of lifestyle that they lived was Rasta.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, right, when the music was formed in Jamaica, it was so-called ballad,
Yeah.
right? It was no Rasta man with no dreadlocks. It was people like the Scatterlights, none of them wasn't dread, right? It was Bob Marley who came afterward, anyway, because people believe that reggae music started Bob Marley and Henry
Right.
It's not.
No.
Bob Marley was just a link in the chain. You understand?
Yeah.
And a man who made a break. But Bob Marley was just a little so-called ballad man.
Yeah.
Bunny Wailer, Peter Tosh. Every man was on the same level. You understand? It's long after when Bob Marley break international. Then you see a whole heap of man start going them here. When me leave Jamaica, me leave pure man with some big afro. Right? Some barefoot trousers. Musicians, we're leaving Jamaica.
Yeah.
And when I there in England and I see all the man that turned Rasta, the man you couldn't go near them if it was a Rasta. There was high society boys.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay, yeah.
Me's a man who used to play the sound system in the ghetto and have my head nuts. Them the man the head no nut.
Okay.
And some big soul. Because soul was in at the time.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, if you
And
look on
even the
those early
dreadlocks
albums,
thing
you
wasn't,
see.
the dreadlocks
Exactly.
thing wasn't dominant, because most of the people who say Rasta in them time, there was man who brushed back him beard still, but him growing beard and
Yeah,
them have that kind of liberty.
The Rasta man at the time was people like Kontazi.
Yeah,
Kontazi.
and even
You understand? Original.
and Light Brevet.
Well, Brevet them come night yet. You know when Brevet them come night when the
Scatter
man them
night.
start when them start go up Tana,
Yeah,
a trench town. You understand? And this was Bob Marley get him doctrine from as well.
right.
Right? Because Bob Marley was an accepted person in Jamaica. When you are a light-skinned person in Jamaica, it's just like a black man in England. You get prejudice too. You understand?
Yeah.
Bob Marley get a lot of that.
True.
That is true.
Bob Marley find Rasta as him savior. Because Bob Marley's father was white, his mother was black.
That is true.
And he was living in Trenchtown. Living in Trenchtown as a little red boy. You're not accepted. You understand? That is the reality.
Yeah, it's true.
Reality that. So Bob find Rasta as a refuge. Because the Rasta man accept him. You understand? So when the music started, it was all so-called ballad. When you go to Coxsone Yard, you see no dreadlocks.
You don't have no dreadlocks sometimes.
You understand?
You don't call those people are called
Unless it's
comb
count as
you
it.
know.
Comb sound, that's
Yes,
it.
you call the Rasta man, I tell them kind of comb sound.
Yeah, comb
Brush
sound.
back in me hair.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
but
so you used that one year,
One
like
second.
66?
At one time when I go up to Jamaica, I get a culture shock. You understand? I went to Anchor Studio, right? And trust me, all I see is pure rapid man.
yeah.
That was a
Bobo
culture.
J.
Yeah, Bobo. That was a culture shock to me. Because when I left Jamaica, the Bobo is a man that just walk with him broom on his
Seven
shoulder.
broom.
The bro was a man that humble. You understand? You don't even hear Bobo man talk. Believe you me, I never hear Bobo talk yet unless him say, bro me.
But I tell you how vicious this thing can be. Like Desmond Dekker, for instance. Okay, when he had his #1 hit, Israelites, the only reggae artist to have #5 in the Billboard in America. Now, if Chris Blackwell was Desmond Dekker's manager, he would have been the king.
Yeah.
Because Chris Blackwell is the one that made Bob Marley.
Sure.
You understand?
Without a doubt.
Yes, that's it.
So if
Yeah.
he had Desmond Dekker, Bob Marley wouldn't get a look in because Desmond introduced Bob Marley to what you call it?
Chris
Blackwell.
Yeah,
That-
Beverly's.
That
You
that
understand?
could be
So,
68,
so
67?
at
What year are you looking at?
68?
68.
No,
And
earlier than that, isn't it?
No, 69.
69, okay.
Yeah. Because I tell you another thing. The UB40, they make millions from covering reggae music. They have mansions, island, and the original writers for these music are still riding some of them the bicycle.
Yeah.
You understand? Because what? The white disc jockeys, like just the little white boys, they build them up, and then take them all over the world and make millions from the reggae music. And the poor black folks that did the writing didn't get a look in. Some of them get some nice food, but not what they should have really come up with.
But,
You know?
I was actually with Bob Marley when Danny Sims, Johnny Nash, and Arthur Jenkins, and Jimmy Norman, and those people picked him up. That was just about 6 months before Chris Blackwell picked him up. And it's when Chris Blackwell picked him up when he became, you know, his career moved forward. But I was in that lame up period when they were at Randy's, recording with them as well.
So the Rasta influence started around what, 70, 71, 72? The Rasta became more, they started around
That
there.
started about in the 60s still. Because we listen to all our Carolina
Because you
and
had
things,
Count
so count as it.
Ozzy
Yeah.
You know?
Late
Sons
60s.
of
Yeah, mid 60s.
Yeah.
You know?
But you see, in my...
Because I used to live in Trenchtown at one time, and I go Trenchtown to school, right? And I see what was happening there. And as Dennis and the rest of the artists here is rightful in what they say, in most of the aspect, you didn't have that influence happening because you couldn't put that influence forward, you know. It was more of a colonial era where if you even listen to the lyrics that existed at that time, the pronunciation, you know, the words or the right, the music, it was of that influence because that's the only way it would be played on the radio, you know, or else you'd have to just keep it at the dance hall, which Dennis originally mentioned that the dance hall was a place. It's not a genre of music, you know.
But the one...
Well, you know something with this this Rasta thing now, right? Rasta man in Jamaica was people who deal with love, strictly love.
Peace and love.
Family
Rasta
man.
now burn no fire upon nobody. You understand? Rasta deal with love, but there was a misunderstanding in the early part. What used to happen? You used to have some madman, right, who grow them locks and goes on the dongle. They used to call them black heart man, all kind of different names. right? They mix them up with Rastaman. You understand? That's what they mix.